Well, the final preparations have been made. It's really dark, it's late evening, and we're expecting two more guests, two four-legged guests. Naturally, they've traveled many miles. They're coming from Lower Austria. Yeah, and I don't really know that much about them yet. One horse is supposedly trained in medium-level dressage, was pushed too hard, and returned to the stable as a monster horse to the current owner, and she bought him more or less out of pity and is working with him now. Yeah, and that's the story, really. From monster horse to therapy horse for children and teenagers. That's the path that we're planning to take here, and I'm super excited about that. First of all, to meet the horse. And of course, how the two of us will work through all these steps together. The second horse is kind of the owner's dream horse and the horse of her heart, from what I've gathered. And the problem there is that the kneecap popped out and the lameness hasn't quite gone away yet. And I'm supposed to take a look at it here. Maybe do some training so that he becomes fully functional again. Yeah, and now it's basically just a waiting game for us until the trailer arrives to get them both unloaded. Get them into their stalls so they can eat and drink, and then hopefully we'll start tomorrow nice and relaxed. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to meeting them. I'm already really excited.
Saddle specialists who don't always know what they're doing, apparently.
Yeah, that's really frightening. I really have to say that.
That's no small matter. Maybe it's also because not many saddlers actually ride. The saddler who always came to me, he doesn't ride either. That's how it is.
Yeah, it's difficult. I think it's also really hard if you don't know the gaits and don't know how which segments move.
The biomechanics.
Exactly.
The anatomy, that has to be the basic toolkit, somehow. Otherwise, I don't know how it feels for the horse while moving. And if you've ever worn a shoe that pinches and squeezes, you can imagine how a horse feels when everything is pressing.
And then I also think,
young horse.
These are trainers who get paid to take a horse into training.
Yeah.
And in the end, it ended up broken. This highway out of this town. And the stars light it up as they shine on down. She's driving off in this world alone. No, she ain't never going home. Yeah, the truck is here. I'm excited. We're getting the horses off now, putting them in a stall. And then I think we'll all just be happy to get to bed. And then we can continue tomorrow. Oh, great. Yeah, great. There, that's good. Yeah, he's quite big, actually. Right? Yeah. Look at this. Oh, look what I have here. Look. You like that? You don't like it? You like the other one? Huh. Ah, he's a haydunger. Want one? Come here. There.
Yeah, there.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, late last night, our 2 guests arrived. Behind me is Falco. He's a 9-year-old gelding. Yeah, who basically came back, as a monster horse after a period of training. That's how I understood it, and he's actually supposed to get some training now in composure, a bit of round pin training, and I hope that sometime soon I'll be able to take him out on the cross trail. I'm curious about that. He's very spooky, and was also very shy. Yeah, and now I just want him to move around a bit after the long drive. And while doing that, I can check his gait and do a bit of movement analysis and see how he reacts to me. But it looks quite good so far. All right, come on, Falco, step back. Yeah, with this scary yellow thing, right? You thought that was really terrible just now, didn't you? Yeah, uh-huh. 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 So what should I do with you now? You know, I'm actually supposed to drive you away. Do you know that? Yeah, I just let him walk for a bit. I also had him trot once. The top line, the neutral ligament, and everything is rock hard. Almost nothing moves there. And yeah, overall, I think he could still use a few more pounds on his ribs. Well, not just on his ribs, but everywhere. And yeah, that's something we're also going to address. That I'll try to just get a bit more mass on him. Not just in terms of muscle, but also a little bit of fat. In the background is Bourbon. He's happy, he's bucking and rearing and rolling and jumping back up. All right, come here. Let me take off your halter. Oh, you've already rolled too. Very nice, right? There, look, go on over. All right, come on now. I have to get you moving a bit here. Hey, walk. Come here, come on. Yeah, hop up. Yeah, that yellow thing is still bothering you a bit, isn't it? Just go for now. Come on. Just move from now. That's it. In trot. Yeah, that's it. Great. Come on. That's great. Keep going. Keep going. Come on. Good. So I'm noticing a lot of nice things here. A good trot. Which is very upward reaching. But he doesn't really want to keep trotting. He'd rather keep transitioning back down. Yeah, and first I want him to trot in a really relaxed way. So that he just lets his neck drop down. Here, come on. And that he enjoys moving. Because right now I see that every time his back muscles are tensing up really hard. Come on. There. It's as if there's an invisible handbrake engaged. Great, he's thinking. You can see it in his neck. He's contemplating letting it sink down a bit, but then he jerkily pulls it back up again. Whoa, very well done. Great job. Keep going, just change hands, come on. Hop, hop, and trot. Great, super. Yes, like that. You can also see his lips. They're pressed together really tightly. Really? As if he's saying, I'm not moving these lips. Ah, now he's chewing already. Very nice. Come on. You're allowed to move here. Let's go. So, and I've heard from the owner that he has a lot of momentum and she can't really sit his gait or work with him properly because, come on, forward. And I can really imagine that because a horse that doesn't have that forward thrust, but just throws you off, just bouncing upwards. Yes, very good. That's obviously really difficult when you look at it. It's better when he moves forward and down with good thrust. Just wave this back and forth a little bit. Not to make him go forward, but so the sound of the flag is there, so he can just get used to it nicely. Just now was a very nice moment. For 2 or 3 strides, just like now, he stretched his neck down low. And then you see immediately that his back is really pushing up. And that bounce, that extreme upward bounce, gets much better. Whoa. 10. Hop, hop, hop. Yes, well done. Come on. Great, like that. Keep moving forward. Yes, great. You can see again, he wants to chew again. He actually wants to stretch his neck down low too. Good boy. Super. Keep going. Come on. Great. You're doing a wonderful job. So now it's starting to loosen up a bit. At least there's a little bit of movement in the rib area and the flank area. Up on the back, you can see it's moving a little bit already. It's not so stiff anymore. Come on. Good. Forward. Come on. Let's go. Yes. Hup, hup, hup. That's it. Keep going and trot. Very nice. Great. Ah, here comes another nice big vehicle. That's good for desensitization. Keep going. Come on. Up, up. That's it. So now he's putting on the handbrake again every time that noise happens. Come on, that's it. Now he's noticed it. You can tell right away. The gait changes, the top line comes back into play. Lips are being pressed together again. Because I've unrolled the flag. That means it's not, it's almost full size. And that is, after all. Yeah, that's nice. So, and he just runs until he realizes, man, it's not that dramatic. It won't hurt him. And my goal is actually to stroke him with it. So he doesn't come across as a monster horse to me or someone who's refusing everything now. He would even come now if I offered for him to come. But I want him to move around a bit after the long drive and then standing in the stall overnight. And he should just move around a bit first. So let's see what happens. Good. Yes, great. Wonderful. Super. You're really doing great, huh? Are you already starting to feel the steam? Breathing quite heavily, huh? You know what I mean? Yes, such a good boy. Yes, that's a yellow thing. Look here, it won't hurt you at all. You're doing great, huh? What do you think? Can I touch you with this? Do you think I can touch you with this, big guy? Yes. Do you think I can? Should I give it a try? Oh, great. That, even though we don't even know each other. That's wonderful. I can go back there too. That's just great. Yes, look. That's quite solid too, isn't it? Yes, it's that solid. Tell me, huh? This all just needs to loosen up a little bit. Yeah. This all needs to loosen up here. You don't have to be so tense at all. No, you don't have to. I can't imagine that you've ever done anything to anyone. Wait, do they annoy you that much? Yeah? Should I do it from the other side too? Yes, come on. So can I stroke you from this side too with this? Yeah. Can I do that too? Oh, that's very nice. Yeah, are you telling me something? With your lips? Yeah, are you telling me something? I have to listen closely, right? Yeah, great. Quite beautiful, these ears. They're long, but also in the middle like a sickle. Reminds me of my horse from before. Well, what's up there? Yeah, what's up there, huh? Should I do it there? Yeah, should I do it here, there? No. Look, even the head is wobbling a little bit already. We've made it when your lower lip wobbles back and forth. What happens now if I spread this thing out here? Are you going to run away again? Or can we do that too, this big? Oh, great, man. What a fine one you are. Great. What a fine fellow you are. I'll just put it on there and we'll see what happens, right? You're not afraid already, are you? Great. What if I lay this over you like this? So nice, huh? Are you afraid of that? No, you're not afraid either. Look, it's on your back. Yeah, look, it's on your back. So far, he hasn't taken a treat yet. Let's see, maybe... Huh? Now that I'm no longer a stranger to you. Yeah? Would you like to have one? Now it works, yeah. Now you can eat a treat from me. So if your horse won't take treats from you, round pen work, after that, it works. Yeah, the two horses are actually standing without blankets. Now, in his condition, I have to be honest, he's very ribby and really has very little mass, even in the back. So personally, I would blanket them now, just so we can get some mass on here faster, because the colder it gets, his organism simply has to control and also correct this temperature balance. He naturally burns off an awful lot of energy for no reason. And yeah, I'd have to check with the owner to see if she's okay with them being blanketed, because they'll naturally have to stay blanketed for the rest of this winter. And that's not something I can decide on my own, of course. But here, you can still have a little fun. Go roll around some more. You don't have to stay with me. I'll go get your buddy in a second. All right, yeah, I'll be back. I'm just getting the lead rope. Oh, you're already taking deep breaths, huh? Yeah. Come on, let's put a blanket back on you. You gotta duck your head, right? Come on. Look, this way is much more relaxed, isn't it? The way there was still a little bit exciting. Yeah, look, you can walk all over the place here. You're welcome to come out into the field too, okay? Yeah, maybe you can come along as a lead horse sometime. What do you say to that? Yeah, the stable still looks a bit messy. All the stuff we unloaded from the truck yesterday's still there. We have to put all of that away first. You don't have to go back in a stall. Come on, you can go out. We just have to put a blanket on you. Come on, come here.
Falco's still a little suspicious of the whole thing.
There, you see? Wait. All right, and whoa. Well done. Wait. Yeah, they're naturally leaning on each other a bit now, both being in the new environment. but I think that'll settle down over the next few days. And if I noticed a little while ago, Falco really doesn't like being alone at all. He'd much rather stick close to people. So this blanket is buckled a bit too loose for you, isn't it? You don't have that much of a chest. Come here. Otherwise, it'll just hang down on you.
Falco and Bourbon come from two different stables. They only met during the 13-hour truck ride.
Ow, what a beautiful full tail, which I think we'll have to give a good wash, right? We'll do that too. Now we have Mrs. Freebald and Falco here. Falco is actually the horse that was, well, theoretically requested through the contact form here. That's just how I have to put it. And he has quite an eventful history. Well, I found it very moving, at least. And of course, I find it much more exciting to see what the goals actually are for him and how and if we'll achieve them.
Yes, regarding the goals, with the horses, Miss Telgen, for me it's always like, whatever works well and whatever's possible. And yeah, just dynamically seeing what happens. Falco just happened to me.
Well put, exactly.
Falco was at the same stable where I kept my horses. At that time, a mare and a little pony. I still have her. She's 26 now. And I lost the mare. That herpes outbreak when it was spreading so badly in Austria. Yeah, and Falco was there for corrective training because he was supposedly a killer horse and unrideable, an absolute monster that no one could handle. He was about 7 at the time, and I didn't notice much at first. We have 30 horses in the stable. You see each other in that. Yeah, stable aisle in the arena, but that's about it. And then I just heard that he found a new owner, or female owner, I don't even know. Anyway, he was sold again. After a few months, he was gone again. And they said, yeah, he's been sold as a dressage horse. He did do dressage. And then it turned out that it didn't even take 2 or 3 months, and he came back from that sale. He was returned, and I asked, why is he back? Yeah, he was returned. He's unrideable. You can't do anything with him. He's totally crazy, completely unpredictable and dangerous. And then he stood there in the stable aisle looking pretty much like he does now. And I thought to myself, I just can't imagine that. A horse's eyes, I think, say more than anything else. And when you look into his eyes, you don't see a killer horse or a whatever else or anything like that. And then over the next few days, I kept thinking about it. I felt so sorry for him. So I contacted the owner through the trainer and ended up buying him. He was sold as a dressage horse, but I didn't care. I just wanted him to have some peace and not have to leave again and not have to go through those experiences again. And then we saw every day there was something new. He really was a total work in progress. I was just saying, you could hardly pull the halter over his ears properly because he wouldn't let you touch him. He was totally tense. Whenever he came out, he would just buck and buck. At that time, he really wasn't rideable for a normal rider because he would rear up, immediately, at the slightest thing in the arena. He couldn't trot either. So the trainer, who is a very good rider and had him in training, I watched it a few times. They went into the arena together. He can do everything, like lead changes and stuff. Yeah, travers, I don't know what else. But he couldn't trot, right? Yeah, 2 laps at a walk, maximum. And then he'd go straight into a gallop because somehow that was the only gait he was rideable in, with spurs and a whip. You know how it goes. Yeah. And they always said, yeah, he needs a strong rider who has him under control and who gives him what for and so on. You know, those stories. I'm not like that at all. But I kept him anyway, and I just put him out in the paddock for 2 months. Yeah, and left him alone. And not everyone who knows about horses agreed with that, because they thought he'd go completely off the rails and so on. Whatever. It did him good. And then I started lunging him. I love lunging, and I do it often. But without a bridle, with a cavesson if it's really not working, or if I don't know the horse. And later on, just with a halter. And it works great. Not with the lunge line, but with the Pirelli robe. And they all do it, all of them, really well. And there, he learned a bit again how to move like that. Then I had the saddle he always wore looked at. It didn't fit at all. It sat on top like a clothespin, so it must have hurt him. I thought, these professionals ride for years and months and don't notice anything. It's a bit disappointing, isn't it? Yeah. You pay a lot of money for the horses to be well ridden and trained, and if you've ever worn a shoe that pinches, it's unimaginable, right? You have to say that, yeah. It was much too tight in the front over the shoulder. I then had a new saddle fitted for him, which we have with us now. I hope it fits. And if not, we'll change something again. It doesn't matter. The main thing is that he's doing well. Exactly. Because he's a real sweetheart. He's a highly sensitive horse. You can really lead him by a silken thread, ultimately. And if you sense what's uncomfortable for him, he's grateful for it and doesn't act up at all. Not at all. Yeah. I once had it where he got really spooked by something in the arena. And that had never happened to me like that before. And then he jumped, somehow completely unexpectedly, to the side from a gallop. And I was hanging off the side, and my center of gravity was next to the horse. If he had taken one more step, just one normal step, I would have been off. And he stood there as if rooted to the spot and waited until I had pulled myself together and was sitting properly again. And that's how he is. He just tries. He has incredible movement, which you'll see in the video too. And it's very difficult because the trot is so powerful and has so much movement to keep your balance on him, especially for me, since I'm not such a great rider.
But I just saw in the round pen that there's a lot of upward movement and very little forward.
Yes, exactly. So that's why I find it very hard to sit. But he feels it when you lose your balance. And then he's immediately considerate and slows down so that he doesn't lose you, yeah.
And yet professionals might perceive that as being resistant.
Exactly. And forward, and go, and spurs, and let's go. And so I have a lot of hope that you can do a lot of good there. I also have the equine dentist here 1.5 years ago who said back then there's nothing. But I'm quite sure that something is wrong and that you'll take a look, because it's also hard to find good people who know their stuff.
Yes.
When I bought him, he had stomach ulcers, definitely. But we got rid of those, also with the feeding. But otherwise, he's really an absolutely sweet horse, a very sensitive horse, and deserves the best. And he's getting that now, right?
Because then you actually have something exciting planned for him, if it's that clear. Which doesn't fit the description in the contact form at all, but fits what you're saying now.
Yeah, he is. He has this feeling for people too, somehow. He feels immediately how you're doing. And I haven't had it once. Even when I lunge him on the halter, he never tries to break out or run away. He might buck and jump around, but always on his circle, you see? You never lose him.
Yes.
And when you breathe out, he slows down. You don't have to say anything.
Yeah, sure.
That's how he watches you. He's that sensitive. And I always have the impression he thinks he's a pony, even though he's such a giant, because he's also a bit of a scaredy cat, if he only knew how big he is.
Yeah, sure.
And I've also observed with others that many people just have respect for the size and are afraid then, right?
Yes, absolutely.
And of course he notices that, but he doesn't know what they're all afraid of and thinks he has to be afraid too. And then it gets bad when it escalates like that. A very people-oriented horse. A very sweet horse. And then a year after I bought him, well, I don't remember exactly. Anyway, I once got a video from the breeder. He was 3 then and was at the Stallion licensing as a young stallion.
Okay.
I almost burst into tears seeing him back then. What condition he was in and how he moved. How well, without a rider yet and without anything.
Oh yes, definitely.
Yeah. A dream horse, yes.
And what shocked me the most was that every horse that's healthy in the head and clear, unless you train it out of them, when they get spooked, they jump away from the person or they jump and run away. They want to flee from the pain or from the fright. Falco just stopped and reared up and went backwards whenever something became threatening. And that was always fatal while riding, of course. Well, I didn't experience that with him, but I saw it once in our arena. And that's what earned him that name. You don't know what happened to him there. Maybe he even fell once while rearing, because he really rear-out. And I found out later that he was already being taught the piaffe in that stable at 5 years old.
Ah, yes, okay.
And if you look at him, he has no muscles now, and he didn't have any more muscles back then.
Well, there's still a lot to be done. Not just muscles.
He's so tight in the front, he can't use his back. He doesn't have kissing spines or anything. We had him checked, but no back muscles, nothing. And then the curb bit goes on, and the side reins go on, and then they're supposed to pee off. That's killer work.
He's not even supposed to be a riding horse now, if I understand correctly, for anyone or go back into the dressage arena.
Well, I really enjoy riding him, but very casually and leisure mode.
Yes.
Yeah, we've mostly been in the indoor arena lately, also because he's a bit skittish. We'll see how things go here with you, because that's what I'd like. He's out on the paddock like that, so you can also go out with him a bit. But he really has a good sensitivity. And I'm a child and adolescent psychiatrist. And I've been working for over 10 years with traumatized children with anxiety disorders, emotional disorders. So not children who are physically handicapped, but those who really have psychological problems. And especially with children who have experienced abuse or are traumatized, have anxiety disorders, eating disorders, everything that sits so deep in the soul, that's where the animals come in. Beanie is my partner in the therapy work.
Okay.
The pony that's at home. And yeah, it's not really about riding at first, but about being with the horse and spending time with the horse, and also having the experience with this large animal. To really be in a beautiful togetherness. And children who are traumatized, who have experienced such a victim role so painfully, for them it's better than any therapy when they can be on such intimate terms with these large animals. You can touch them, pet them, you have them here on a loose lead rope, they walk with you. If a 600-kilogram horse follows me, I'm not afraid of an 80-kilogram man anymore. Not like before, you know? And those are experiences that you can, in animal-assisted therapy, implement incredibly well. I don't like medication at all. I only do that in the absolute extreme emergency when nothing else works. When someone's really suffering that much mentally, even if it's just short-term. But for me, therapy and the healing process are something else entirely.
And that's actually where he's now.
And that they are friends.
Yeah, that's true. But ultimately, I could imagine that quite well, because he actually has the same past. It's also a kind of abuse that he's experienced.
True. And I'm telling you, he has such an intuition. It's less that he seeks out this horse contact so much. He has a total sense of how you're feeling.
Does who?
And mirrors it well, too. But he's gentle, despite his size. He's incredibly careful, he's gentle, he's sweet. You can touch him anywhere.
So he was much more careful than Bourbon was in the round pen.
Yes.
Right? So very, very careful. So it would basically be a matter of finding out first, but he'd have to be able to do that. I don't really do the join up, but it's a mix of a lot of things. So if he could do that, he'd more or less teach it to children and young people in a simplified way, or react.
So you work in the round pen, you work in the arena. You also have these ground poles, these foam noodles they have there, little obstacles, tarps you walk over, even a gate you can go through. And the kids just experience I think the most healing thing is simply this. I'm with this big animal, it follows me, it trusts me, it walks with me. If this animal trusts me, I can trust myself again too. It can protect me.
And for that, he actually needs to be left alone now so that he doesn't get spooked.
I didn't have that at all here in the round pen, him getting spooked.
Right.
Yeah, but that was naturally a small radius too. Did.
But what he's really good at is being considerate and stand with you, even if you don't feel well and are unhappy or have problems of your own. That's how it always is, right?
Yeah.
And he senses that and adds his part to it. And that's so beautiful when you give him the opportunity. Yeah. He's truly a soul horse. He just grew so big, he can't help it, but he's careful anyway.
Then he's just responsible for the big problems.
Yes, exactly. The people.
No, but then I know roughly where it's headed. Yeah, I have to put it this way. That bourbon just happened to me. He wasn't actually planned in that sense.
During the time we were already in contact, he developed that tendon issue. And then I thought, well, before we make any mistakes, let's just come with both. Now he spotted the horses back there. And maybe one more sentence, which is also very important to me. When you have animals that are also partners in therapy, they also need their space where they can be animals and where they have joy and where they have their relaxation and balance. And of course, he has that when we ride together and can walk around a bit, and they need that too. The welfare of the animals is the top priority there because only them can they do a good job as therapists. And I'm still keeping in mind that it would be relaxing for them if they could go for a short ride in the field at the end.
Right, exactly. That would be the best thing. Wonderful. Yeah, I'm bringing Bourbon into the round pen too. Just to take a little look. He's already bucked around quite a bit. Here in this paddock, Bourbon is 5 years old and, well, his kneecap has been popping out quite often lately. Since then, he's supposedly still not sound. I haven't seen any lameness here in the paddock at all. I'm really curious to see what happens in the round pen now. He doesn't have any interest in me yet. Maybe if I rummage around in my bowl a bit, or in my pocket, or push our hay ball around. Come over here.
5 weeks ago, Bourbon was still a stallion and was supposed to be approved. The newly gelded horse has only recently been with his new owner and is now set to receive conditioning training and get a thorough checkup from Ariane Telgen.
Would you like to have one? Yeah, right? But only very tentatively, huh? If it really has to be, right? Yeah, if it really has to be, then you'll take it, right? Yeah, great. Super. So come here. Come along. Ah, yes, now he's freaking out. I almost thought so. Well, at least you're moving a little bit now, right? There, that's good. Great. Oh, look, there are 3 there too, right? But they're only painted on. So it's also always important that you always turn around first, everything else. So look at that. Look, now you can go for it. Maybe I should take the blanket off. Took it off too early. Too early, too early, too early. So, Bourbon. The owner of Bourbon and also Falco is here now. And now I'm curious to see what all I'll find out. I only know a little bit from the contact form and from a short phone call. Yes, and now I'd be interested to find out what your plans are for Bourbon and how he even ended up with you.
Yes, so this is Bourbon. Bourbon is a warm-blood gelding, now for 5 weeks, from Bavaria. And Bourbon just crossed my path like most of my horses, and he enchanted and charmed me, and I just had to take him with me. Yeah, to put it briefly, but that's the factual account. That's exactly how it was. I didn't actually want to buy a horse, but he's so sweet and so handsome and so well-behaved. He was like that even as a stallion. I rode him a few times. In Bavaria, he was at the stable where he was kept. He was in a large sales lot, in a professional sales stable, and was supposed to be auctioned off there. And he had to work a lot, partly because of that, right? He turned 5 in March, and even as a stallion while riding there, he was incredibly well behaved, incredibly sweet. Also in handling, a fine, great, well-behaved horse, and also very, very comfortable to sit on. Unlike my others, Falco is a challenge to sit on.
I saw it today in the round pen.
You really have to be well balanced.
You always have to. Balance is the alpha and omega, actually the most important thing in riding. But with Bourbon, he just makes it easy for you because he moves so well and in such a rider-friendly way.
Yes, and he's also very soft in the mouth. He had a very good trainer there, even though it was a professional stable who worked super, super well with him, I think. Yes, and then I bought him, and he stayed there for another 4 weeks because we weren't allowed to bring the stallion into our stable. And then I made an arrangement with the veterinary clinic near us, and we had him on the 12th of October in Gelded. And after that, practically, he came straight out of training, and then through the castration, practically, he had to go from 100 to 0 in training because he was already a big, strong stallion, of course. And the wound wasn't that small in the back, and you had to be really careful to make sure it healed well. Yes, and after 10 days, it started that he's suddenly in the back. Well, we only walked with him on the rein and on the lead rope. He did all that super well behaved. So you would have always expected now he must want to do something. Whatever. No, he was always, always sweet. And around the 10th day, the hind legs suddenly hitched. Really, really, really obviously. And also in a way that it couldn't be overlooked. Yes, he really got stuck in that ligament there. And I had the vet there immediately. He just gave anti-inflammatories and painkillers and then said, well, young horse. Now he's done nothing for a few days and was well trained before. It'll be fine.
Okay.
And then simply, that's how we left it. We then just continued working him at a walk every day for half an hour, 45 minutes, just marching with him on the lead rope. He did that really, really great. So as you always expect with a young horse,
they might explode like that.
But really quite great. Yes, he's also broken down the hormones very well by now, you can see. He's already more peaceful now and doesn't whinny as much when he sees the others. Yes, and I have. He's a dressage horse by his pedigree, based on his bloodline. But he can and should just be my leisure horse, my friend in all walks of life. And I think he has the right disposition for that because he's so open to human contact.
I noticed that here in the round pen as well. First, very soft-looking movement. Also very soft in the pasterns, very elastic in the pasterns. I already thought then, that's surely very nice.
And now I'm really enthusiastic about all your videos and your super, super great work. So I can only applaud that in every respect. From my side, I've been involved with horses for a very long time. I've actually seen them all live, and partly even experienced them live. Starting in the 80s with Linda Tellington-Jones.
Really?
Then I was with Klaus Ferdinand Hempfling, did a seminar there. I experienced Monty Roberts live, and then via Linda Cohenard as well, did a seminar there too. And I watched Philippe Carl, several courses, was also totally enthusiastic. Gerd Heuschmann. So everything that serves horse welfare, because that's always very close to my heart.
You're actually a pro yourself.
I'm an absolute leisure rider. I just try to do the best I can for myself. And I only enjoy it when I notice that the horse is also having fun, and that they just like to move and also find joy in movement. And that's what I try to implement from my side. Yes, and Bourbon is still young right now. We brought a brand new saddle. It was custom made. And I'd like you to just check them over. If the teeth are okay, the musculature, how it looks, what can be done, also in further training, so that this issue with the hook on the left hind leg, with this ligament, with this patellar tendon, gets better. Also, if the saddle fits, of course. Performing, I haven't quite officially bought it yet. It's just here for a trial fitting for now.
Okay, that's good to know.
His teeth have never been done at all.
Not at all yet.
Yes, and when I bought him, as I said, 5 weeks ago, 6 weeks ago, he came to me. He also came with egg bar shoes on the back.
Yes.
And I was a bit surprised because normally that's not something you put on as standard. There too, I said, since we already have the appointment with you, when we come here, we won't change anything else. We'll load him up together with the big one and bring him here and then do a whole...
We have a farrier appointment next week.
Wonderful.
And then I just present him as well, just to hear what our farrier has to say about it.
Exactly. Great. Yeah, so this is Bourbon. In faithful hands and in good hands with Miss Kelton.
Yes, thank you.
Before we make any mistakes. With him in this case, yes, because he hasn't experienced anything bad yet, and no.
He also came right up to me and everything. So he's a very open-minded horse, has been well written, and no. But I had that with Falco too. He was very skeptical at first, but then when he realized, she's not going to hurt me at all, he was also very open.
Hi. Great. Excellent. So with him, I'll do the hand changes. I'll do the hand changes very carefully and slowly. Yeah, you also need to burn off some energy first, right? Yeah, and the nice thing is actually that I can work here in the round pen now. Really big vehicles like tractors, corn choppers, and everything drive by, which really make rattling noises. And Falco can learn that it's not bad at all to be alone there now, because A, I can see him. And so he learns very gently to stay standing there alone too. So, you want to be on camera or what? So, come on, about face. Yeah, slowly. Well done. Yeah, you're doing great. Whoa. Yeah, good boy. Yeah, very nice. Good morning, Vicky. Yeah. So, quite interesting. He just really made a jump to the side at a gallop. So far, nothing's wrong with the kneecap. Come on, I decide the hand change. Hop, trap. That's nice. Oh, great. Super. So, and now I can really use the time here, and already a little bit. Get to know the horse a little bit. The horse can get to know me. We can see if we both fit together, or if we have to work first to find common ground. Good boy. Yeah, you can also see he's slowly starting to go deeper. Good boy. Nice and forward. Great. Hey now.
Is the initial tension gone? Yeah? Is the initial tension gone? So now after all, yeah, now after all, come on. So, of course, I'd really like it if when I lead him away from the track, he follows me. If he's not doing that, yeah, we need to work on that a bit more. I'm changing hands. So he doesn't like that sound at all. Trot up. Great. Yeah, good boy. You're doing well. You're doing that very nicely. Good. Yeah. Good boy. It's all very exciting, isn't it? All the things you have to learn, huh? There you go. Great. Super. Such a good boy, right? You're doing a great job. It's not so bad, is it? This yellow thing? It's not so bad, is it? So, oh, this is much softer. Much softer than with Falco. But of course, in terms of its overall condition too. Yeah, a bit rounder, a bit more compact. I think the feed just puts on weight faster here. He's also significantly smaller, of course. Yeah, great. What do you think if I stroke you with this flag? Can we manage that too? Over here, look here. Yeah, look here. Not bad at all. Oh, you're even holding your breath. Look here, you're holding. Oh, good boy. You're doing great. Great. Look, not bad at all, right? No, not bad at all. So you're doing great. Wonderful. Are you leaving or staying here? Yeah, are you leaving or staying here? Yeah, look, great. You're doing a super job. Really well done. Perfect. Right.